We're serving up a look into two of Marywood's women's tennis student athletes tonight on Beyond the Arch. Tonight, we welcome the two captains of the women's tennis team to the program. One of our guests is senior Abby Dowd. She comes to Marywood by way of Ballston Spa High School in Ballston Spa, New York. In high school, she was a 4-year varsity athlete and a 2014 state qualifier for tennis. At Marywood, she built on an honorable mention her freshman season to be named second team All-CSAC singles in both her sophomore and junior seasons. She was also named second team doubles her sophomore season. Our other guest is senior Danielle Ogonowski. She comes from Rock Tavern, New York, where she attended Our Lady of Lourdes. She burst onto the scene at Marywood when she was named CSAC Rookie of the Year in her freshman season. That season, she was named second team All-CSAC singles and honorable mention for doubles. Last season, she was named first team All-Atlantic East singles while competing at number 1 singles. She was also named the Conference Player of the Week twice.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to the show. I am pleased to be joined by Abby Dowd and Danielle Ogonowski. Abby, Danielle, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Well, we never had women's tennis on before, and since it's my last season here, I wanted to make sure, well, I'm trying to get all the sports on that we never had on before. So far we're off to a good start. We got you guys on here, and we know you're just coming off of your abbreviated season, non-conference, and you guys both did very well, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And okay, before we get into all the on-the-court stuff, we're going to start off the court, because that's what the show's all about. You know, life beyond athletics. You guys are people too. So,
Yeah.
So, how about we always start with this? How did you guys find your way to Marywood? And whoever wants to go first, could feel free to start.
Well, I found myself to Marywood through my first college visit.
Mm-hmm.
I found it through the architecture program. Kate O'Connor walked me through the entire program. I started with her Design Your Future summer program for 2 weeks, and from there I was able to join and find the tennis team, and that was a big factor getting into Division III so that I could study such a rigorous program and play tennis still. So I was able to do both and still am as a 5th year. That's how I really chose Marywood, was because of the 2 factors within it.
And Danielle?
Yeah, basically the same thing. I started off as a pre-PA major, so I was looking for schools that had a PA program that I could apply to eventually, and with a tennis program. And I got in touch with Amy, who was our coach when I was first being recruited, and from there it's history.
Great. Well, all worked out. So now, the first thing I thought when I was reading your bios was 2 really very involved majors. We already know how busy student athletes are with their all their obligations athletically, but then to add on to that academically. Is it ever difficult for either of you, managing such a heavy, a heavy major, so to speak?
It gets very, very tough, but honestly, tennis becomes a way to get rid of the stress of the major and becomes like a relief. It's just, you do it, you find a way, and without tennis, it's more stressful, honestly. When the season ends, I don't know what to do with my time, and my workload becomes, I find that I'm not doing my work as rigorous for me.
Too much time. That's not a
that's
not a complaint we hear too often, but I'm sure it's tough. All right, Danielle.
Yeah, I think that's one of the major things on our team is that we always like to keep the focus on tennis is supposed to be a stress relief, not a stressor, because sometimes you can get yourself worked up over sports, but it's not supposed to be like that. So we really view tennis as more of a stress relief, and Coach Dana is really good with working with us around our schedules, with practices, and she usually tries to schedule matches on the weekends so we don't have to miss class.
Yeah, Coach Dana was great talking to her too, getting you guys on the show, so she seemed, my interaction with her was great. But, that's interesting you say that though, as it being like a stress relief, because I think a lot of times we think of it as like a burden almost, but in the end of the day, you guys are choosing to do it. So, I mean, what makes it all what makes you guys want to keep doing that? What makes it worth it for you guys to balance a sport with all your academic endeavors?
For me, it's seeing new people again, like not new people, but a fresh group of people. In architecture, I'm seeing the same people on a daily basis.
Right.
I'm fifth year, I'm in the same classes with the same people 5 days a week. So for me, tennis they're my people outside of architecture. So they're my fresh air from architecture, and they're again like my stress relief from architecture, and they're just my girls that I go to when architecture gets hard. So
great.
That's what it really is.
Yeah, it definitely serves as a break, being in the library and you get to be like, okay, I have to leave. I have to force myself to leave, and I have to go to practice and kind of just reset myself mentally and then go back on to the studying or whatever I have to do.
I think what comes with difficult majors too is they come with their kind of stereotypes too. Like, I mean, architecture, I feel like every person we ever talked to that's an architecture major says they live in the architecture building. Is that true or no?
It's definitely true. I try not to. I try doing work other places, but it's definitely hard to not be there, because it's a very rigorous program, and they give you your desk, so it's kind of like, why wouldn't I be here when they give you your desk and you have your own space to do your work? So it's honestly like the best part about being in there is because you have your desk, but it is hard too, because there are so many people, so it can be distracting. But again, that's kind of the environment that they want. But I sometimes try and, spread out, go to the library, go do work in my apartment. But some people definitely do live in the architecture building. I, for one, definitely do not live there.
Now, what's the most challenging part of architecture?
The most challenging part I would say, is making sure that you just keep an open mind between each project that you're doing, whether it be between each class. It's just, you're learning so much all at once that it's hard to continue to develop between each class. There's just so much going on within each class. It's hard to kind of continue to explore. So it's hard to keep your mind exploring. But honestly, taking those breaks with tennis, that's where my mind begins to explore again. So that's another reason why. Kind
of like when you're not forcing it, it's just kind of...
Right. Yeah, when I'm not forcing it, then all of a sudden all these ideas start to come out. And
sure. I understand that too. It's kind of similar in our major. You can't force inspiration, I guess they say.
Right.
That's the
truth. I think that it kind of comes anywhere. Any major really needs those breaks.
Yeah.
So, and when people aren't taking them, that's kind of when I think anyone gets stuck.
And now, Danielle, we said pre-med, biology. So, I mean, again, that I guarantee, one of the most difficult majors probably. It has a reputation as being that anyway. And, probably for good reason if you're studying to be a doctor. That's not supposed to be easy, I suppose. But what's the most challenging part for you?
I think just balancing schoolwork and usually having a lot of tests to study for. Unlike architecture, my program is more like test-based. So it's a little bit easier in that sense. You don't have somebody grading your projects every so often, but it's more like concrete but there's a lot of information to know, and if you don't know it, then you're kind of screwed, unfortunately. So you have to spend a lot of time studying, a lot of time and a lot of effort. So
now medical school, is that
that's the end goal.
Aspiration?
Yes. I'll be applying this year, so I'm going to take a gap year after this year.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, try and get myself together and then go off to medical school.
Then a doctor, what's the?
End goal, doctor, pediatrician. We'll see.
Nice. Awesome.
I love kids.
And Abby, what's your ultimate, where do you see yourself career-wise?
Oh,
Other than on the tour, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. Fix my back and all the other problems I have, then we'll be there. End goal would be owning my own architectural residential design firm. It's really where I don't know exactly, but definitely something, whether I get certified as an architect, but definitely a residential architectural firm.
I think you guys both have what it takes to get there. So
Thank you.
And then we have much more to talk about right after this, so stick around.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back to Beyond the Arch as our conversation with Abby and Danielle continues. All right, so we left off talking about your career aspirations. Now we will get to on the court because this is also a sports show. It's not, so, I mean, you guys are student athletes, so we want to cover the athlete portion of that now. So first of all, brand new courts.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So
they're amazing.
What did you guys see? You guys got to pick the color, though?
Yeah.
Yes, our coach asked us which colors we wanted, and we went with the blue and green.
Awesome.
They're very bright.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
We wanted them to stand out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, I guess maybe, does that help at all with, like, the color scheme, like, with perceiving the ball? Does that help at all, or no?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Good question.
Okay, I just thought maybe there was some sort of, like, strategic, or was it just that you thought it looked
I mean, it probably
correct?
helps to distinguish distinguish between in and out because we call our own out balls. We don't have any referees or anything.
Right.
But so the blue and the green help to distinguish between that.
Right.
But I don't know if it helps to see it at all.
Well, no, that's well. I mean, we're hoping to break in the new courts with a really good season this year.
Yeah,
Plan.
that's the goal.
So what are the goals first of all? You know, what are the team goals for the season?
To be competitive for a conference championship. I mean, that's obviously everybody's goal, but I think last year we came in third, which isn't. It's pretty
solid,
good. Yeah, but I think we'd like to make a run for first, and I think we have a good chance of that.
Especially in a new conference, you know, that's
Yeah.
that's good. I mean, are you used to the? I mean, I know there's similar competition, but are you used to the increased level of competition without the kind of the freebies? As you know, that's what Dr. Gunna used to say here was the freebies. She kind of wanted to eliminate those. So does that help you guys at all, or do you think it's more challenging, or what do you think?
I think it just limits the amount of matches we play. It just, I think we just don't play as many matches now as we used to.
So like less room for error, though. Is that fair to say?
We used to play around 10 in conference matches when we were in when we were in the old conference, and now we're playing 5. And with that, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's like room for error, because even when we were playing 10, we still were placing second in the entire conference, and we're still placing third and second. So even with that, it's kind of, you know, we're still up there, so it's hard to tell when it's just like the second season in the new conference.
Sure.
So I guess time will tell to see how that kind of plays out.
Now, how did tennis work its way into both of your lives? You know, when did you start playing? I mean, has it always been a passion, or is it just something you fell into? I mean, whoever wants to go first.
My brother, well, I played when I was younger, and then my older brother, whatever he did, I did.
Okay.
And he really got into playing tennis, so then when he really got into it, I got into it as well and started playing competitive when I was in like 6th or 7th grade. So from there, I just kept playing.
Awesome. And Danielle?
So my story is a little bit different because I didn't start playing tennis until 7th grade, which is very unusual for tennis because a lot of tennis players start when they're like 3 or 4 years old. But actually, we were on vacation in Maine, my family, and they had tennis courts there. And the one time my family went out and rented some tennis rackets, and then I told my mom, I was like, I want to sign up for tennis, and she was like, okay. So then she signed me up for a tennis camp, and it never looked back since.
Well, that's cool though, because you have different beginnings, but you know, a similar outcome. You guys are both on the same team now, so that's awesome. Both doing very well. Also, Danielle, first team all Atlantic East last year, right? So.
Yep.
I mean, that must be pretty cool to be able to, you know, for the first year of the conference, put your name up there like that, right?
Yeah.
What did that mean to you to be able to, you know, in the conference's first year, what did that mean to you to be able to, you know, you could say that forever now, so does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think going from like sophomore year to junior year, it was like a difference between the conferences, and then being able to be first conference, that was really nice, and it just solidified my status on the team and being able to, in the conference too, as a name in the conference, and being somebody to watch out for. You know, teams don't usually like to play me or Abby, so I've had coaches come up to me and be like, "Oh, you're still here!" Like,
we have the first and second singles here, correct? So
yes.
So that's there you go. You got the very top of the team. You're obviously team captains too.
Yeah. Yep.
So what does that? I mean, you know, like first and second singles and both team captains. So obviously, you know, I mean, you know, you are the backbone of the team. It's fair to say. Everything, you know, you're facing, you know, the toughest competitors, and also you're kind of responsible to lead the team into every match. So, you know, what does that role like do? How do you feel about those roles? I mean, like, you know, the pressures that come with them, and do you embrace that? How do you look at everything?
I love it. I mean, I love the competition. I love, you know, honestly, like when when some of the team isn't doing so well, it honestly makes me work harder to bring them up, or you know, to push them harder, to push me harder. It's almost like I work off of them, and I think that begins to just make the whole team work off of one another. And just having that and having Danielle as number one and me as number two, we just work off of each other to build that confidence and build upon each other. So truly it just becomes like this whole building experience for our team. And I think our whole team, if they were all here, would say that we really don't take, I'll go out and play, our number 6 girl any day. And it's not that I'll play her to play her just because I need to play her so I can get better myself, not because, I feel bad. It's because she makes me better by playing her. So it really begins to make her confident in herself, but also me confident in myself. So we really, and as a captain, like that takes, it just begins to build as for the whole team.
And what does it mean to be a captain, Danielle? Because it's, I think that's one of the highest honors you could get, because it's, you are the leader of your peers and they all respect you and look up to you. So what does that mean for you to be a captain?
It means that we get to set the example, we set the tone for the team, and a good example nonetheless. So hopefully we can start to just elevate our team in certain ways that we feel as if we were lacking last season, to hopefully be more competitive this year. And I really enjoy being a leader on the team, especially with Abby. I think we embrace the roles well, and just make sure that the whole team is doing okay and we're doing everything that we can.
Now, women's tennis, one last question.
Yeah.
we're already at the end, we're always worried about will we have enough time, and we're already at the end, But no. So, women's tennis, maybe might get overlooked, unfortunately, sometimes compared to some of the other sports on campus, or, even compared to, you have Serena now, who kind of, has done a lot for the sport at a national level or international level, getting up to speed with the attention towards the men's side of the sport. But just as the sport in general, what is one thing you would like, people out there to know about your sport? Maybe they aren't as familiar with it, or why should they really pay attention to tennis or women's tennis?
I think people don't understand that there is a lot more technicality and ability that goes into the sport, that it's not just hitting the ball over the net, that it's not, that even though it is a team sport, it's as much as a team as it is an individual sport. We're the only ones out there, and you can cheer as much as you can cheer, but at the end, I can't pass the ball to Danielle to hit it over the net. It's her. She's the only one who can do it, and she's playing doubles and then playing singles. I'm playing doubles, then playing singles, and we've had doubles matches together that have been 2 hours, and then have had to go and play singles for another 4 hours. Yeah. That's 6 hours plus an hour warm up. So we've been out there for almost a full day's of work, and again, it's just us out there. So it's there's a lot more into it than I think people realize and necessarily look at, which just kind of is something that we're always kind of we always just like to point out that there's always more to it.
Danielle?
Yeah, it's a very tough mental game, and I don't think people understand that. You're, like Abby said, you're the only one out there. If you're having a bad day, there's nobody else to take over for you. If you're having a bad day, you got to be like, all right, come on, focus up. You got to do this. You still have to play 12 more games or however many, and it's difficult to keep yourself focused for that amount of time while continuing to keep up your physical the physical aspect of it too.
Right. Well, I think very well said by both of you. I appreciate the precision and the condition that goes into it. I know. I was saying this to you guys before. I know. I watch the Opens and stuff. I think it's it's really truly a grueling.
Give it a chance.
No, but I think people will pay more attention. Definitely to it, because it really truly is a very, very interesting sport. Yeah. And thank you both for coming on tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
And right after this, I will tell you what you can expect on the next Beyond the Arch.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
I'd like to thank Abby and Danielle for coming on the show tonight and wish them luck this season. Tune into the next BTA when we welcome 2 more Marywood student athletes to the program. Until then, head over and subscribe to TV-Marywood's official YouTube page to watch full episodes of the show. Be sure to follow TV-Marywood on Twitter and Instagram, and like us on Facebook. Until next time, always remember to look past the jersey and beyond the arch. From everyone at TV-Marywood, have a great night.